Hello, my battle language buddies, and welcome today to this short live that I was organizing just to answer some questions. I was trying to improve my technical software, the software that I use for the lives, but somehow I had some troubles a few minutes ago, so I wanted to test it. Let me see if the volume is too loud. I wanted to test this software. I think it's not gonna work, so I'm staying with the same one. And I'm sorry to be so short on advice for today, but I just wanted to chat a bit and talk about a few things about my channel and 2 years that this week has been this second anniversary. Okay, let me answer your questions right away. Battle language guy, I'm wondering if you could analyze Putin. Thank you for your great videos. Yes, we can do something about Putin. I did a video on him quite some time ago. On him and Biden. I can check for that video now, and let's see. Let me organize a bit this. How is this called? Where am I from? I'm from Venezuela. Originally from Venezuela. Now citizen of the world, let's say. Let me see if I can find that. Put in video. We can watch it here. It was a comparison between Biden and Putin. Let me see if I can pinpoint that one. Yes, here it is. I think we can watch it. Ireland, Arizona, Costa Rica, Minneapolis, UK, Brazil, Tasmania in Australia, Denver, France. Love the way you roll your R's. Well, you can practice. I used to have a very bad time rolling my R's as a child. I have this condition that very hard time doing the rosas. That rolling of the tongue was impossible for me. Absolutely impossible. Let me see if I can. Why am I seeing? All right, now this is much better. Let me see if I can show you this. If this doesn't explode. The only thing that we will not be able to see the actual or hear the actual analysis. Let me check something here. Have some technical problems here now. Okay, it doesn't want to. Why doesn't want to? I'm sorry for the technical problems now. Let me see if I can solve them. Hello from Birmingham, United Kingdom. Love your videos. They are so informative. Thank you, Davina. Let me see if I can change here. I should be able to. I'm trying to access. All right, now I can do it. If I do this, I could be able to show you this. I remember this analysis I did some time ago. Let me see if I press play and it doesn't explode. can be watching. We should do this more often, doing like a kind of a public watching of things. Let me see if this doesn't explode now, if it goes well. See what happens. I remember this that this was let me see, who was this? It was Putin. Remember that Putin is really short. It's a really short man. I think he's always trying to, how do you say that? Okay, I'm trying to make some space so I can. Okay. Let's see, this is super chat like this and this. Hide my bookmarks. A bit better organized this way. I think it's better this way, right? Jesus, what are your thoughts on Lisa Hanna's body language when her and Catherine were seated together in Jamaica? Well, I talked about that in yesterday's video, and that Catherine was not actually looking at her directly, at Lisa Hanna. Catherine looked at Hanna for a moment, but then looked behind her, like she was watching in many directions at that moment. It's not that Hanna just turn away from Catherine just to give her the cold shoulder, and we cannot know if she gave the cold shoulder because we couldn't see Hanna's eyes at that moment, so we cannot see. We could see head movement, but not eye movements, which is very important in situations like this. So I think that's why so many royalists or royal correspondents try to make this kind of narrative that Hanna had just snubbed Catherine. There's so many people that are trying to have this narrative that everything went wrong with the Caribbean tour. I've noticed that. It's like they're gonna do many, I don't know, that's their goals. I don't know why they're doing that, but whatever. Canada, New Zealand, London. I love questions like this. What is your favorite analysis during these 2 years? I had this. Let's say I remember that one of the analysis that I had the most fun with was my analysis on Will Smith and Margot Robbie. That was very good. I had a lot of fun. That video went pretty well, and I had a lot of fun with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard analysis. It's not like the topic is a topic to have fun, but it was nice to do the research and do the all this build this case of what happened with their situations. I used to do more research for my videos, since I was always tackling different topics, and so every time I tackle a different topic, it was like back to zero again, back to the starting point. I had to start from zero, so I needed at least 2 or 3 days just to review all the content, define the angle of the video, begin writing the script. I used to do 14-20 minute videos, and it was quite a task. In total, it was like 4 or 5 days producing a video, and it was really energy draining, and most probably 1 or 2 days after to get some rest after those videos. So it's a bit I understand that many people say that I should do more topics, but sometimes it's more fun First, it's easier for me. I've said it many times. Easier for me to just focus on the royals. There's so much that can be said, and every time I do research in every aspect or angle on the royals, it's easier next time because it's like you are compounding that research, and it's easier for me, and it's easier for you, and it has been really nice. And of course, it's the only way to produce videos daily, something that I really want to do no matter what. Happy Sabbath, love your podcast. Ginger Grutius of Brenham, Texas. Gratias, I think that's the pronunciation, right? Gratias. A German name. I love Germany. I also I understand that you're from Texas, but I have so many bodies from Germany too. Thanks, Ginger. Thanks for your super chat. Every single super chat and super sticker is really helpful to keep my channel going. Hello, JA. JA is one of our moderators. She's very, very, very handy with everything. There's Megan Small. Hello, Megan Small. How are you doing? And Ayeda. She's great too. My moderators, please, a big shout out to them. They're doing always an excellent job. One thing I loved about Germany, is that people are so well. That's the impression that I had. People are so friendly and they really want to help tourism. I went to Berlin not long ago, and it was amazing. I love the culture of course, the focus on art. The art scene is something that I'm not that much into clubs or loud music. I'm more into museums and art scene. And in Berlin, it was great, and it was really warm people. It was a great experience, and I always say that I have to translate my book, Churchill Salt Shaker, because in that book I had an anecdote when I went to Berlin that I visited a museum of modern art. Favorite. You might be wondering why I like modern art so much. Sometimes it's hard to get. Sometimes it's hard to understand. But I think it's that the beauty of modern art is that you cannot. How to say that? You can explain it easily. Okay, I'm analyzing all the time and trying to make connect dots, and it's like my mind is in a constant way of explaining. Okay, well, we are seeing so many symbols, so many archetypes. We were talking about archetypes and stereotypes a couple of videos ago. And I think modern art helps our minds just reset. There's no way to explain modern art sometimes. Yes, sometimes it's ugly, and sometimes it's absurd, and sometimes it's hard to define. But isn't that hard to define that it liberates the soul and the mind a bit? That's my way of saying. I like the Zen focus of modern art in so many ways that it's like you cannot explain it, but just focus on it and just meditate about your non-understanding. Some of you are asking again, where am I from? I'm from Venezuela. And we were watching this video, this analysis that I did, and one thing that I noticed in Putin at that moment is that he has his hands like you can notice that at that point his hands with the palms backwards. That's a sign of someone that is very reserved, extremely reserved with their feelings, when with everything. And in fact, you can even associate that posture with maybe not in Putin's case, but people that is shy or reserved when they are walking. When you see someone walking, okay, and they have their hands free and they are balancing and swinging their arms by their sides, take notice the orientation of their palms. Okay, if their palms are directly towards their legs, like in a neutral position, like towards their body, then it's a more neutral, more normal position, and the person will be fairly open, okay, to maybe talk to them. But if their palms are like Putin's, in this case, they are more reserved. They don't like to be maybe talked to. Maybe they don't like to be approached. Maybe they are more reserved. So that's what the hand orientation, when people are, in this case, standing or they are walking, tells you about them. So it's much easier to approach a person that has their hands in a neutral position, and not in this position. Who is your role model? Well, I have three. Well, it depends. I would say that it's a complicated question, but in writing, which is very important for me, has always been Isaac Asimov, Robert Greene, and Malcolm Gladwell. It's always a question of preference. I love all their books, maybe more Isaac Asimov books, because they were he managed to like spread science in a way that was really fun. I read his books as a very young age, and it was fascinating how he engaged in science. I really at some point thought about becoming a scientist, but I don't know, the art side of me was too strong. In Malcolm Gladwell is more the way he tries to connect dots. It's something that I really admire in him, and how he crafts a story in such a way that pulls you in. In fact, there's a TED Talk. I don't know if he has offered more than a TED Talk, but there's one of his TED Talk that is called "The Strange Tale of the Northern Bombsight." That's the name, Northern Bombsight. Really good story, and is this the way he crafts? It's not just like conveying an idea, but having a story to get to it. Storytelling is a superpower. We can use it for so many things. And Robert Greene. Well, Robert Greene's books are a bit more hard, a bit harder, especially because he uses storytelling, but in a much like academic way. Okay, are a bit more dense books, but the amount of research that he does in every book is like, if he picks a topic and he writes a book about it, you know that you will be having the whole enchilada. Literally, you will have everything about it. It will be really, really comprehensive. That is in writing. In art, my favorite artist is MC Escher, hands down. And that intersection between what was mathematics and art. And I mentioned that in another live, that there's an anecdote, or not an anecdote, that MC Escher was considered too much of an artist for mathematicians, and was considered too much of a mathematicians as too much of a mathematician for artists. So it was in this kind of limbo where it's hard to define. I'm really grateful for all your super chats and super stickers. I'm really enjoying the way you support my channel. We'll love if you and According to Taz will do a live stream together. You two are amazing. And I'm absolutely sure that Taz and myself, we're going to do a live together sometime, anytime soon. I think the time zone is more or less similar. I've reached out to her just to, well, tell her that her videos are awesome. I wanted at some point to pick one of her videos and comment on that video, like do a live watching of one of her videos in one live. So that will be great. I'm just figuring out the technical details. I don't know if she does lives. I don't remember if she does lives, but that would be great. Yeah, for sure. Yes, I am a scientist of sorts, but that's the thing, and I think that's the way that we use labels. And I think there's a book from Malcolm Gladwell that deals with that, or a chapter of a book that deals with that, with labels. And there's always the label of this impression that when you say what you do or what you are, we always tend to talk in terms of what we do. Or when you want to express who you are, we usually go for what you do. I'm a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor, or a scientist, or a psychologist, and etc. And it instantly it's like when you say that, when those words leave your mouth and reach people will instantly like grab you mentally and put you in the category of what you just said. Okay, if you say you are a lawyer, then people will instantly imagine their stereotypes of lawyers, the lawyers they have met, the lawyers they had, maybe they have bad experience with a lot of lawyers until they found a good one, but they think that most lawyers are not that trustworthy, and that will condition the way people perceive you. That is very important to understand. That's something that we cannot avoid. It's something that people say that, and we instantly put people in the category. That's the way our brain works. That's the way we think more efficiently, and sadly it sometimes has this effect on the way people perceive us. That's why I'm really cautious in the topic of disclosing my how to say that, my studies. I've studied quite a few things. I would like to know how to adjust. All right, that's better. I've studied quite a few things, and everything has been focused on human behavior. Okay, it's basically, but I'm always branching out. You might have noticed by my videos that I'm always my curiosity. I think that my curiosity is my strongest weapon. It's something that when my curiosity says, hey, you have to search this or find out or make the connection between two things, or maybe this frequency or maybe this feature are connected by some kind of way, it's something that I cannot help that. And sometimes I feel like my mind is a bit like I cannot tame her. It's a bit difficult to tame my mind. I just quit on it. I decided that it was not worth it to spend so much energy trying to tame my mind, because it was just a feature that I wanted to do that it's like that curiosity, that wanting to connect the dots all the time is what I decided that I wanted to do at some point, because it's like I get bored really easily. I get bored in a matter of months. I've been really afraid if there has to be any kind of tipping point or barrier that I'm gonna hit with the royal family, because that's how my mind has been working for so long. It's like this kind of frequency, and it's normal when you hit a wall and say, well, what else is there to it? Okay, what else can be said about this? Am I repeating myself with these topics? That's something that really worries me, and that's something that I have trouble sleeping with that. Well, I love this. Please keep questions respectful. This is in eHarmony. Oh my! I remember eHarmony from that movie. What is that movie? It's a movie that featured eHarmony. A movie like I like a lot. How's this name? I'm sorry that some of you ask about a put-in analysis, but I've been talking like ages here, and I should just. I'm gonna put this in slower playback speed. Maybe we can go reading that. You can go be a bit distracted. You can add my Biden Putin analysis, and I did this analysis. What's this? Like 1 year ago? I don't remember that. And yes, for those of you that how can I say that? Why I look so pale in that video? I don't know. Yes, this is important, and I remember that this was one saying from a very good teacher I had, and one of the topics that I have studied formally as a career has been education, and the philosophy of education is something very complex, and of course I have my take on it that might not be the same take of most educators. This is something that has happened to me all my life. I study maybe a career or a master or something in any area. I dive in that group that maybe that tribe, okay, in this case educators. I try to soak everything up like a sponge and try to make sense of it, take what I can use, and finally I reach my own conclusions. And with education, it's like in everything else. I don't consider me a teacher per se, right? But this teacher I had, not precisely in education career, but in other field, more related with art, he told me, or well, told the whole class, that a teacher doesn't teach. Well, the job as a teacher is not show knowledge, or not even do experiments, or guide you trying things or making exams or anything. The job of a teacher is to develop or spark or nurture the hunger of knowledge in the student. Okay, it's like you cannot. And I thought about that. It's like that sentence just exploded in my head, and I couldn't but think about it for years, and I think for decades. And it's true. I think that is true. A real teacher, or the true meaning of a teacher, is not to teach in itself, and much less in this era that we have every single bit of knowledge just one Google search away. But it's the hunger for knowledge and the hunger for understanding. Maybe the hunger of knowledge and the hunger for understanding. And understanding is something much more complex, because it's like you need to learn how to think. And what is sad is that most people never realize that thinking requires learning how to think. I had, now that I'm talking about Venezuela, I was really lucky, was extremely lucky that I was born in a country. It was one of the few countries in the world back then, the 70s and 80s, that had this subject at school, at elementary school, that was learning to think. Okay, that was literally the name of the subject. You say that subject, right? Yeah, learning to think. And imagine that you're a 4th or 5th grader and you're learning tools on how to think better. Okay, I think I was really had that luck of having grown in that environment, and of course have this benefit of not having internet, not having too many stimuli at that moment. So thinking was something that was naturally to do, because I didn't have any cable TV, so I had to read. I have to say that before a certain age, I really hated reading. Okay, I have to say that it's not like, oh yes, I was 4 years old and I was reading encyclopedias. No, that didn't happen with me. It wasn't until I was 17 years old or something that I really began to read, because I was really bored, and I began to discover my passion for books and reading and knowledge, and especially connecting the dots. Yes, good teachers tell their students how to think critically. It's like not what to think, because it's like you have to be able to fit the right information. And sometimes it happened to me in college, giving lectures and classes in college, that one does not realize how much students know more or different content or different angles than ourselves. So it takes a lot of bringing yourself down, being a bit humble to realize, let's have a discussion and let's see what can we each of us bring to the table. What I knew that was absolutely sure, regardless of the topic of the class itself, is that I knew the tools to help them how to think. Okay. Again, it was like since elementary school I learned the how to say that, the pros and cons, or the pros of having a tool set of thinking. Okay, and then that's why my how to say that, my classes were always discussions. And I think I had this topic that I want to talk about. That was part of the curriculum. I don't know how to say that, the content of the subject. And I tried to find angles, for example, in political science, what was going on in the political fields at that moment in the world. Okay, there was always news about politics, so it was really easy to just pick one or two topics and then, let's see how we can mesh this in 90 minutes in a class. Of course, I had a very hard time, the hardest time, trying to do exams or evaluations, because I never really believed in evaluations and exams. That's one of the things that I have a lot of trouble with education in general. It's like you're measuring what kind of what are you measuring in an exam. I know that some of you are educators. I know that maybe I will say things that trigger you, or maybe you don't agree on. That's perfectly fine. I have my flaws. At the moment I am no longer a teacher or at any university or college. I highly doubt that I will go back to that to those circumstances or that that job anytime soon. I don't think I'm gonna go back, for that simple reason that I do not believe in any kind of most kind of evaluations. Of course, if it's a function in mathematics, it's very easy to evaluate something in mathematics or engineering, or even in medicine, for example. I think that are suited to be evaluated, because there's a structure that you can evaluate people to measure their abilities. But in my fields, always is it's like everything is qualitative. That is thinking. That is thinking about behaviors. That is observing. That many things are just not. Sometimes are not like you think. That is like there's no formula. There's no way to say. For example, I remember those classes. Political science. If someone has a posture or a reasoning or a philosophy, and another student has a different posture or a reasoning or philosophy, what are you going to evaluate? Like that they remember the content? That's absurd, because, as I said, everything is one Google search away. Okay, so that's absurd. I think it's absurd to evaluate by memory. Okay, that is something that I really don't agree with education at all. I don't agree with plain grinding something. That's not the way. But thinking is something that should be nurtured. Again, there are many subjects, careers that tend themselves to evaluations, very strict evaluations, so you can have professionals. You want engineers to know what they are doing. You want physics to know what they are doing. You want doctors to know what they are doing. But there are other fields of thinking. That's why I fell madly in love with philosophy, because it's something, for me, philosophy was like a big open field with a big lake on one side and mountains in another, and a huge ravine that begin to open in front of me. It's like a very big field where my mind could play at ease without any judgment. Like, let's think, let's release our minds here. And you might think at first that maybe philosophy doesn't have much application, but that's the way you arrive at the right answers, the answers that you need. Yeah, it's important to know your craft. It's important to know certain skills. It's that there's no doubt about it. But life is not a competition of skills, and life is not only a skill set, a perpetually skill set to apply to in a job, a 9 to 5. No, we have to think. That is life. How do we really get the most out of life? Is asking the right questions, and we cannot ask the right questions unless we sit down and think, okay, and be comfortable with our thinking, with our values, with what we are. That's what we do in with our lives. It's really complex. I understand that some colleagues, educators, are gonna tell me you're insane. We need evaluations. Yes, you need a certain evaluation to. Well, you did not pass. You pass, and you pass with honors. But That's why I do not work any longer with that field. I just couldn't bring myself to that circumstance of I wanted to focus. Like every single other teacher was focusing on, well, let's do exams or presentations or everything or essays. I said I need to do something different. Okay, as every other teacher is doing the same, I'm gonna do something different, and that got me into trouble sometimes. Of the kind of trouble, I remember that I was pursued by these people that needed the grades. We need the grades, professor. We need the grades. Where are the grades? We don't have any grades from you. And I remember that I was really upset with the grades. I really hated grading students because, again, I don't think that thinking can be graded, because you can come up with something brilliant on an exam, or you can come up with something brilliant 2 weeks later, or you can come up with something brilliant 2 years later. I don't know. That I thought that was my job. That's why this YouTuber job, so to speak, is I think it suits more my philosophy. And then it's like I was so upset. I was in the middle of the campus. I ran into this guy that told me, we need the grades today, this afternoon, now. So I got my briefcase in haste. I didn't say anything, just got my briefcase, just pull out the grades. It was like, yeah, the chart to fill all the grades of the students. And I just put that away, put my pen, and put all top grades for everyone. Top grades for everyone. I don't care. Here are your grades. You want the grades? Here are. In retrospect, it was really arrogant. It was really what is the word? It was a bit disrespectful. Okay, it was. I really did not even try a bit to hide the fact that I was really not interested in the grade. And just top grades for everyone. I spent. I remember it was 2 years, very good, extremely nice exchange of ideas with those students. Maybe some of them are watching me right now and remember those days. And well, you're asking some questions that I don't know about medication. I don't know about medication. I cannot. This is not. Oh, just to be clear, this is not financial advice. This is not medical advice. This is not, maybe sometimes life advice. But you have always take everything with a grain of salt, please. If it comes from me or comes from anyone else, just just make sure that you try to use your common sense with whatever you hear. I have a favorite motivational quote or saying. I think there should be there's so much despair in the world and hopelessness in the world. That is something that I have felt head on, and I have experienced in such a way that has been crippling. And getting out of that route was not easy at all. It was really painful. Getting out of that hopelessness. I think hopelessness is something that can really kill us, literally, being hopeless. There's so many angles to this, to hopelessness, that I cannot say that you just have to, like Kim Kardashian, work harder. You just have to work harder. It's not that easy. I would like to say that there's a way to do things. There's a formula for life, but there is not. There's not a formula that I could say that it works, doesn't work. You just have to follow these steps, and that there is not. And especially the circumstances for this is important. The circumstances for every person are absolutely different, even if they are brothers or sisters, even if they come from the same family. The circumstances are vastly different from one person to another. But in the same way that is a challenge, the solutions of other person maybe doesn't work for us. That is a little bit hard to understand, hard to grasp, and maybe will be a pessimistic way of seeing things. So there's no formula, or there's no experience that can help me with that. At the same time, it means that there is a formula that works for you. There's something that can work for you. There's something that can get you outside your situation. One of the things that really crippled me back then is that I always went for the hardest version of the game. Okay, if I was, it's like an example, like in gaming, if I play in a new game, I'm gonna set it up in the hardest setting, like right from the start. I was always looking for the hardest everything in life. And you might think, oh, why? That would be really great to test yourself to the limit all the time. But the problem is that life has a way of teaching you things in ways that, well, you know how it is. And if you pick the hardest way to do it, then you will be like thrown to the ground really soon. And that happened to me a lot. And the problem is that when I hit the ground so many times for trying to do the hard things the hardest way, it was really what is the word? It was frustrating. It was really frustrating just for trying to do things the hard way all the time. And I tried to, and I had to stop. And as I tell you most of the times, is that you have to stop and think about, why are you feeling like this? Why are you doing things like that? And I realized that I was always trying to pick things the hard way, trying to do things the hard way, because I needed to prove my worth over and over again to the world. Hey, everyone, look at me. I did this the hardest way. I did this other thing the hardest way. Look at how, I don't know, brilliant, smart, hardworking I am. But that was sapping the life out of me. Okay? And I realized that I had to focus not in the hard way to do things, but in outcomes. What do I really want? And that's when I realized something that almost broke me down. I did not know what I wanted. And that's one, I think that has to do a lot with the question that I highlighted a bit ago. People do not know what they really want. And most importantly, that thing that they really want sometimes crosses their path, crosses their line of sight, and they say, nah, that's impossible, that I couldn't possibly do that and couldn't possibly achieve that. And sadly, we've had the solution for many years. I think I had one book from Tony Robbins. I don't know, one of the first two books. He wrote the first two books. It was really thick. I don't like his books a lot because he I don't know, he just doesn't get to the point many times. More like my life, so I cannot talk much about him, but well, I think in a book it's different because it is very helpful if you go to the point sometimes. But he has this very outline process that works almost every time, or works every time. You have to first know what you want, okay, what you really want, okay. And after you have this, don't be like me. Don't set things that are too far from your control, or too far away, or too high, or too hard. That is not the idea. You have to set up a realistic goal. Okay. That realistic goal should be a bit right outside of what you think can be done. Okay, right outside, a bit beyond what you think you can do. And then, well, first of all, how would you really know that you will have reached that goal? How would you know that? How would you know? You have to be sure about that. When you reach that goal, you be sure, hey, I reached it. Okay, this is important. That is the second step, establishing what you want. And how would you know that you reach it? And then it's the steps back. How do you bring those steps backwards? You reverse engineer the process. This is really important. Reverse engineer the process, the steps from reaching your goal to your current state. That's it. And you have to write it down. But I understand that you might think, I was in your place too, I was in your position, that you may think that is just wishful thinking, that you're not gonna achieve that. And don't be fooled. It always will take a huge amount of work, a huge amount of energy, an indiscriminate amount of tears and all-nighters. Okay, it is not gonna be easy, but it's absolutely worth it. That is important. But it will be ill spent energy if you don't know where are you going. Okay, and please realize that I'm slowing down because this is really important. No matter how much energy, no matter how fast you run, you will go nowhere if you don't know where you're going. You have to know where are you going. This is really important. There's so many things that sometimes are just common sense, but you see everyone around you doing the same thing, everyone around you like acting in a way that you think that there is no it doesn't make sense. And it's a bit of the Hawthorne effect. The Hawthorne effect, in more or less, is when your behavior is conditioned by the behavior of others, of the group. Okay, that is important in many ways. It was important for survival. It was really important for survival. But at the same time, it's something that cripples your thinking. You said you say that there's something that is wrong with the way that people are doing, and everyone is behaving in a certain way, and you think you want to behave in a different way. You think that you have the right of behaving your own way, as long as you respect the integrity of other people. Okay, as long as you respect the rules of living with your community, your family, etc. But it's important to really pinpoint those those moments when something inside you tells you this is not right. And it doesn't have to be that you want to change the world. Please do not think for a second that you can change the world. I also went through that stage. And when a person, there are people that have changed the world, and many people that have managed to change the world in so many ways. Of course, that's absolutely true. But at the same time, those people have been a really tiny percentage of the world, And most of the time, those people have been absolutely driven from the start, or from some reason, or whatever. Okay? Mortals like us have been lost for years because we don't know where should we going, and that's very different. So most probably, if you don't know where you're going, I didn't know where I was going at some point, then you are not one of those 0.000001, I don't know, Gandhi, that managed to change so many things in the world. That it's amazing. So, and maybe they were not thinking about changing the world in itself. They were thinking about changing something in their circumstances, in their country. That's important, but it's a different topic. But that is the same message of, do not try to tackle things in an extremely hard way, in an extremely broad scope, in the hardest level possible, because you will get frustrated, because you will set the bar too high, and you will always fail. And once you fail 2 or 3 times at it, you're gonna get very frustrated, and it will be really hard to survive those failures over and over again. So you have to also be realistic with what you expect from yourself. I'm sorry if I'm being rambling about all this. Let me see, from London, Ireland. Let's see, someone. Yeah, I challenge myself, but in a non-healthy way. Okay? And now that I mentioned that, this is like self-therapy, because yes, it's like I had this insecurity. I'm trying to talk about my experience, so let's see if you can find this relatable. I had this insecurity, or I started from this insecurity. I will not be able to do that. Okay? And we as humans, we have a we are brilliant at fulfilling our own prophecies, and we set up our own prophecies. If I make the statement, I will not be able to do that, then the way that I subconsciously, or maybe even consciously, set myself to fulfill that prophecy, is to set the bar too high, that no matter what I do, I will fail. So what I said at the start is going to happen. I'm insecure about what I can do, so let me set the bar too high, so in case if I fail, at least, well, there you have it. I knew that I couldn't achieve that, so I get frustrated, but at least that was what I was expecting. I didn't subvert my own expectations of failure. Yes, it's as absurd as that, but that happens to us without us noticing, especially if we don't have the emotional tools to deal with criticism, especially if we had a toxic relationship in our family, especially if we were raised in a toxic environment, or we did not develop the emotional tools at the right age, or we're not facing the normal troubles of childhood in a way that we could cope with them one by one. Okay, it's like that movie, The Empire of the Sun, with Christian Bale. Christian Bale was a child. That movie from Steven Spielberg, that is a child, and he in the middle of the World War II in Japan, he gets thrown into all this ordeal. It's something that is beyond any scope that a child can endure. So that's what I'm talking. That's when it just breaks your will. It's not that like you live up to the task. No, it breaks your will. So that's what a way that I sabotage myself so many times. I think I'm not gonna not be able to do that. I'm insecure about my abilities. I'm insecure about everything. Insecure about people. Insecure about everything that you can think of. And so let's put the bar really high, so high that when I try to reach that, it's going to happen the same thing that I'm fearing. I'm going to fail. So it will be fulfilled. It's like having the certainty of failure, okay? Because you can have the certainty of failure, and at least you have the certainty of failure, but nobody can grow from having certainty of failure, okay? And that's why we have to be really comfortable with uncertainty. Okay, uncertainty is our friend. It's always going to be our friend. Nothing is certain. That's why I was telling you a couple days ago. I was talking about attachment. Sorry, but this is what how much do I need to donate to the Klaus Schwab video? Oh my God, who is Klaus Schwab? I'm sorry, I'm totally lost with that name. Super Sticker, I'm really thankful for all your support, with all your comments, with all your. In the past couple days, I had this bad. Bad behavior, so to speak, or bad strategy of checking the comments that YouTube just hides, okay? Because they will be offensive, etc. Because I want to just ban these people from my channel, and it really drains my energy when I begin to see how much like bad juju can be on those kind of comments. And it's really refreshing when you tell me, send me emails, when I send you DMs, send me your best wishes, send me your good energy. It will be really, really great. It has been really the head of the Economic Forum. All right, yes, yeah. The last name fits with that. Okay, I should do a series on that. But that would take a lot of research, a lot. The Schwab thing is a conspiracy. Please ignore. I think that's one of the things. Maybe Russell Brand has talked about him. Yes, I am not that keen onto conspiracy theories, because conspiracy theories are a barrel that once you go in, it doesn't have. There's no way out, or there's no end to it. Conspiracy theories can be fun, of course. There's talking about them, like connecting the dots and trying to twist and turn the things until it fits what you think that is happening. But in the end, where does it lead you? What from everything that you had, what could you bring to yourself? What could you use from that? Okay? It's nice it's like a video game. It's nice to spend some time to clear your mind. Well, conspiracy theories not exactly clear your mind. They instead clutter up your mind. You have to think about that. And it's not that this is important. I'm not saying that you have to believe everything the mainstream media says. Tells you. This is important. I don't believe in that. I try to stay from the mainstream media as much as possible. I just read the Reuters, for example, news, what is going on in the world. But the way we can be biased in our thinking, just for the sheer amount of messages and about, for example, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. It's a delicate topic. I can just say, hey, bombing civilians is a no-go. Okay, there's no way anything can justify that. There's nothing that, but there's so many conspiracy theories about that. I'm not gonna mention them here, and people just talk about them. It's their problem. It's it's their absolute maybe right to do so. But I think we fall in the same mistake of, I don't know, not bringing that to earth. What can I use from that? What can I don't know how to put that in words. How can I become a better person with this? Or how can I help other people? How can this help me? If it can't help you, then it's just blind entertainment. It doesn't bring you anywhere. Okay, this is important. This is important. If it helps you decide things about your behavior, well, so be it. That's great. But sometimes it's not in the how to say that, in our best interest to be entangled in so many conspiracy theories. We lose our minds in there. Okay, this is important. It's important to keep our minds are as easy running as possible. This is important. It's really, 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 really critical, and people do not give enough time to consider how much they're poisoning their minds with so much information. I'm not saying, just for the record, I'm not saying that one conspiracy is good and another conspiracy is bad, or some mainstream media is good, or some side of the story is the right one. I am not saying that, because I think everyone should decide what to believe and what to think. Okay, I think that's the real deal. Everybody should be able to decide what to think, and at least that's my goal. Okay, I give you tools so you can reach to conclusions about yourself. That's the single most important thing, because you will understand your own biases, your own filters, your own way of perceiving the world, and why sometimes you listen to people and you say, well, this doesn't make sense at all. This is important. So conspiracy theories have their place and time, but maybe not so much in my channel, or so far. I don't remember any conspiracy itself. The only topic that I covered, it was this UFO, this unidentified flying objects. People have seen these ships that have no way of explaining how they move so fast in the sky. So they are like aliens or something like that, and supposedly the government is hiding something from us, the U.S. government. So I don't know how to focus on that, especially because the most important, the most relevant thing we need today is entertainment. People need to laugh. People need a reason to smile, to have a good time, and if we can learn something while we are it, so be it. Ajita's helping me with my merch. Some of you might be aware that I'm on my second anniversary as a YouTuber. I released. I should put that video of my second anniversary soon. Here, it's really boring to see Biden talking in slow motion. I'm about to sleep here, looking at him. And I decided this limited merch is going to be available only for 24 more hours. 24 hours. That link in the description brings you to my merch. Limited edition. Only 24 hours more, and they are gone, disappear. I have the intention of keeping on building my community, of becoming Kardashian famous, if you may think. Let's talk about in 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 fun terms, okay? And I don't know, maybe someday it could become a collectible. This batch of shirts, of mugs, of hoodies, and it's totally up to you if you want to buy them. But buy them sounds like Biden. Buy them, but you will have only 24 hours left. You have only 24 hours left to go to the link in the description and grab one merch, one mug, one shirt, whatever you fancy, one hoodie. Maybe you like tank tops for training. There's that. But only 24 hours more, only until tomorrow. It would be incredible if you do Putin. The circumstances now are much different than a year ago. Yes, that's absolutely true. And but I don't know how many people wants me to do politics. I've done a couple polls on that topic, and I've seen that not that much people are interested, as I said, in this kind of topics. I'm hopeful that this conflict will have an ending soon, but it's so many things that's the problem. It's not like you turn on a video, put on a video of Putin, and I say, hey, yes, he's about to resign, he's about to retreat, he's about to do something. It's much more complex than that, because I need to analyze the patterns of behavior, and I absolutely not familiarized with his patterns of behavior lately. That's why I tell you that it's so much easier if I analyze the royal family every day, because I'm so soaked in that those patterns of behavior that it's much easier to just go straight to the point, get down to it, okay? And these videos like this one, like Biden Putin, took me like a week to make them. So, and you might already be aware that YouTube has become one of my main daily activities, so to speak. So that's important to be able to focus my energy on what can I bring in a day-to-day basis. I'm going to do, I will be doing lives, I think just once a week, most probably from now on. It's not that I don't like them, but I think there's so many topics that I want to create recorded videos, and this is what I wanted to talk to. There are topics like values and principles, like a narcissist, like some topics about psychology, some topics are psychology of money, that is so important. And I think I can help you with that. Sometimes I don't have any way to grasp them or connect them to the topic of the royals. Someone said that they liked a lot the way I cover the how to say that, how I cover the archetypes and stereotypes. For example, I have this super chat from Shelby Cobra. I love that car model, by the way. Shelby Cobra, happy year number 2. Can you please do less Markle? I like you. Well, for example, the yesterday's, what's yesterday's? No, the day before yesterday, video from Megan was for her podcast. I was talking about her podcast. I was talking about the name of the podcast. I was talking about archetypes and stereotypes. And as I've told you many times, I just do a clickbait. I just bait you with the gossip and just bring you, let's talk about archetypes and stereotypes. And that's how this works. That's how the psychology of this medium, the YouTube, works. Okay, if I make a video, it's a fascinating topic, archetypes and stereotypes, and just publish it, maybe it will not have the traction than connecting that to the fact that Megan is doing podcasts. And in fact, it's interesting to think that If Megan hadn't named her podcast Archetypes, I would not have remembered about that's interesting topic, the archetypes of Carl Jung, and I could talk about that. I have never in my 2 years of YouTube thought about doing a video on Jung's archetypes. So I think it was a very good moment to just talk about them a couple minutes or maybe 3 minutes, and it was great. And it's how it works. So maybe, hey, we're bored about Meghan Markle, but I'm not really talking about Meghan, even if the title or the topic is about Meghan Markle. Because I always branch out, my videos, I always branch out to other topics. But if those videos, I branch out to them, I made those videos in themselves, maybe not that much people would watch them. It's not that it's that connection. Most of my audience, like the royal family and everything that is this gossip that is happening both in America and both in the UK. So that has worked so well. But yes, and considering your comment, yes, I thought that I want to do more videos that satisfy me from intellectual, emotional, creative way. You might imagine that those little clips of archetypes from stereotypes. I put Conan the Barbarian, Gandalf the Grey. I put movie references in them. I like a lot doing them. I like including the humor in them, and of course, Meghan, Harry, they are ripe, are perfect to include humor in them. And yes, I'm absolutely aware that my channel is being targeted. I'm not afraid about that, because I know that these people have seen my channel, my videos, and they absolutely know that they have nothing on me whatsoever. Okay, that is something that is out of the question. So that is not something that worries me. It's just that somebody mentioned Rumble these days, and I decided to jump in just to check what was it about. It seems that it has some nice monetization techniques. Monetization ways. If you don't know what Rumble is, I'm gonna show you in a minute. I may have a lot of super stickers. Thank you for your super chats and super stickers. They really help support the channel. Let me see what else I have here. I remember that I like all the videos on the royals. Please don't stop. But on others like Putin in addition or Justin Trudeau will be appreciated. I did a video. If you search on my videos, you just have to go to my channel. When you go to my channel, the Battle Language Guide, you will see a tiny inside the channel, not in the browser. In the channel, you will see a tiny magnifying glass to search, and you can put in there Trudeau, and you will look my video on Justin Trudeau. That video took me quite some time to craft, to find an angle to the topic, to get to it, to develop that. And I don't know, I think that I had less than 30,000 views. And instead, when I talk about the royal family, I always it's easy to land 100,000 views. And as you can say, views are the name of the game. There's no way around that. So I understand that you want to know about other topics. I absolutely understand that, and sometimes I would like to cover other topics, but then I say, this is gonna absolutely break my schedule. This is gonna break my energy. You can imagine that doing videos every day is not easy from a mental health perspective. I'm still trying. If you have been following my lives, you already know that I've always been, since last year, having trouble fixing my sleep schedule. I'm still trying to fix that, and that's why I wanted to do a video about Jussie Smollett, the Jussie Smollett case, but I really didn't know how much body language or how much content will have gotten out of it. I will always find a way to make you laugh, to make you learn something, to no matter what the topic is. That's I think that's the magic that I have tried to strive to attain in my channel. That no matter the topic, I try to make you laugh a bit, learn something, or at least entertain you in some way. And of course, many people have reached out to me to say that it's great that I do videos every day. It's not an easy task, but I've committed myself to doing videos every day. Maybe I could do, there's Trudeau and Angela Merkel that I was included in, and López Obrador from Mexico. It's something that would absolutely break my schedule, and if I do a video on Jussie Smollett, I would have to sit down, take a good look at all the information. Sometimes even doing the research on a normal, daily Royals video, it takes me a lot of time. It takes me sometimes landing the jokes, crafting the jokes, the timing. I understand that maybe you're not interested in knowing how the sausage is made, but I just want you to be aware that I'm willing to keep doing videos. They take a lot of work to be done, but my precise point is that you learn something about yourself. That's it. That will be one of the best outcomes that we can have, and it can be with pretty much any topic. It can be literally with any topic. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you for your words, for your kind words, and for your super chat. I'm very grateful about this. And I've told you too that you should never explain yourself, that you should never explain your decisions, explain your actions, because it's like, I don't think you need any explanations. My best explanations, so to speak, are my daily videos. I really try to push videos that you can laugh at, that you can find something useful, and most of all that I can do every day, that I can be every day there, so that we can share that moment every day, and we can share these lives whenever we want. And this is kind of feedback that I like. I always learn from your work and enjoy it immensely. That's what I need. That's my fuel. This part of the video was very interesting, because one thing was how Biden was like 4 or 8 years ago, and how he was, how does he talk now? It was a very stark change, and that is the problem with politics. When politics, I noticed that you can never win. It's impossible to win. And I recall that there's one reason I don't do much. Let's watch this video, this next video here. There's one reason I don't do politics. Now I remember. This is the kind of things that I would like to tattoo on my arm. Here, we love your content, but I think you should not feel that you owe us a video every single day. If you take 2 days off every week, we're still here for you. Thanks, GA. But I think it's something that I want to do. It's something that I I really want to do, because that is the thing. Maybe, for example, this is the video I was talking about, archetypes. I don't know, YouTube is listening to me right now. YouTube listened that I was talking about this episode, so it recommended this episode precisely. I think that I did this video, for example, and like, I don't know, it took me like 7 hours, something like that, creating this video. And it had a great opportunity to explain that concept of archetypes, and remembering all that I've read about Carl Jung. That was amazing back then. And that's it. It's like every single video is an opportunity to share with you, and an opportunity to just like let my mind play and connect dots and do things that otherwise I will be limited if I did not do videos daily. Okay? In fact, not doing videos daily will be another kind of pressure. Okay? Because there's a great advantage, and that goes for everything. There's a great advantage of doing. There's my merch with my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. 24 hours left. There's an advantage of doing things every day. There's a very, very good advantage of doing things every day, and it's that you have more shots. Okay? And when you have more shots, you get better at things faster. You level up faster. There's no way around that. And since I decided back in October of last year to do videos every day, I missed a few days, but I tried to do videos every day, even on holidays. Doing things every day makes you do them better, faster, okay, and gives you more opportunities to fail at something. There are episodes, videos that I uploaded that I really did not like the way they come up. I think it's not that I did not like them. It's that I have, of course, big hitters and like videos that are seen a lot, and videos that I really enjoy doing. Maybe there's a video that I really enjoy doing and it was not seen that much. There's one video I remember. Was when Prince William was talking about the space race, okay? And then William Shatner said something about that, and there was this discussion about the internet and people trying to smear William into what are you thinking about. And I love that video, how it come out, and the message from that video too. I had a lot of fun making that video because I had the disclaimer that I've always wanted to be an astronaut and fly to the stars and visit Mars and this stuff. And sadly, that video was not as popular. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe the title, I don't know. It's important, but I made a video the next day. Okay, it's like, okay, this did not work as expected. Well, the next day there's gonna be an opportunity to do another video, and the next day, and the next day, and next day. And of course, that's one kind of a stress. But let's go back to the moment that I was doing 2 or 3 videos a week. Okay, that was another kind of a stress because were more days invested in every video. So it was more expectations on every video. You get the gist? Okay? This a bit of I'm trying to present you this experience, so let's see if you can apply it to yourself. When I do videos every day, even these lives, it's something that forces me to keep doing, even if I don't feel confident. Like now, I don't feel as confident talking about this. But tomorrow will be another chance, and another chance, and another chance. It will be every day. But if I do 2 videos a week, then I will have to work on them 3 or 4 days. It will be more pressure for those videos to deliver, right? So the more pressure will only mean that if that video doesn't deliver, sorry, it comes the Scarlett Johansson leather suit reference. I have to wait for this. You know, the male impulse to wait for the Scarlett Johansson leather suit reference. When you do things less times, there it goes. Leather suit never fails. You will have more pressure to deliver. Okay? And this applies to everything. The less times you do something, you will have more pressure to deliver. And if you fail at something you were working for a long period of time, or in my case 4 or 5 days, then recovering from that hit would be really hard. There's one video in my first years as a YouTuber that almost like destroyed me from the ground up. Please stop worrying, you're doing great. Thank you, but worrying is something that I do on autopilot, let's say. There's one video that I always remember. There's no way I cannot remember. And you might remember 2 years ago, there was all this, maybe you're not familiar with YouTube drama from this Shane Dawson, Tati Westbrook, Jeffree Star, James Charles. Rings a bell? Maybe you're into it, maybe you're not. And it was really hot back then. It was really like a hot topic back then. And I remember that I did this video. Yes, I should do more videos about Catherine and William. There's a lot of content about them. There's a lot of symbols. There's a lot of that we can talk about couples that work in a nice way. I should talk more about that. And I should talk about also about history of the royals, the royal family. But well, back in 2020, I did this video about Tati Westbrook. Okay, from all this Dramageddon, what it's called, this makeup YouTube. Was all this drama, was very nasty, everything what happened. And one of the videos that I did was on Tati Westbrook. Was huge, that video, making all the research, all the editing, all the scripting, everything. And I was coming from a very good video. It was really quick made. It was the video of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. That video went viral. It was my second video in English and went viral in 2 days. It exploded. It was a really good experience. And at that moment, I thought to myself, well, I've got YouTube figured out. I'm gonna be a YouTube star no matter what. So I did my best with that Tati Westbrook video. I don't know if that video is hidden or something. If you want to really know about my history as a YouTuber, go to that video. I don't know if I hadn't hidden or something. Let's just check. Let me be sure about that. No, you can watch the video. The video is called How Tati Westbrook Destroyed Her Own Empire. It was 13 minutes. 13-minute video. Was a lot of work, and that video bombed bad, but really bad. It was a bomb. It's like I uploaded that, hit published, and it was really heartbreaking to see that it didn't. I had like, I don't know, I reached like 300,000 views on the William Jada Pinkett Smith video, and this didn't even get to 2,000 views. 2,000. Okay? 2,000 views. It broke me. It broke me like for 2 weeks. Said, why do I think it bombed? Well, there were many explanations. First, the topic was not hot anymore. Okay, that is important. YouTube is about fresh content. What's going on at the moment? I think it was 1 month after the affair itself. But even so, when you create a video, and that video was not just an analysis, it was like a recap of everything that had happened and why it had happened. Maybe I tweeted it in a too serious way, and now that I'm thinking, maybe it was too serious. I was not that laid back. Maybe I inserted a joke here and there, but it was too serious, and I didn't understand that at the time. And I didn't understand at the time because I don't know which number of. Let me see. I'm going to try to backtrack to tell you exactly what number of my video, what number was it in the videos that I made. Because I had made too few videos as a YouTuber to really know why it had bombed. That's important. Let me check. Go back in time. This is the time machine, and I'm going back and okay, here we go. Well, after my first video as a YouTuber, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did 11 videos as a YouTuber in Spanish, and that's when I said I want to go global. Global for real. I want to go global. I'm gonna do this in English. Okay, my first video in English was the Staufers, the two YouTubers that adopted a child and then returned him 3 years later. And my second video. This is I did not remember this. My second video in English was an English version of one video in Spanish. That was the Prince Andrew interview. The Prince Andrew interview, I did a video of 9 minutes in Spanish and said, well, what the hell? I'm going to do the same version with pretty much the same editing, but in English. So I recorded all my parts in English, and it was really easy to do because the whole video, the whole structure was already done in Spanish. I just had to fiddle with the translations. It was my second video in English. My third video in English was the Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. And that's the problem with you have huge success right from the start because you think that you got it made, and no, I didn't. Now, from that, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. My seventh video was the Will Smith and Margot Robbie video. That was really good. The video before that was Amber Heard's Fake Emotions at her deposition. That was really good. I think that was a really good video. But then there was my Tati Westbrook video that then bombed terribly. Bombed in a way that I cannot tell you how heartbreaking was that. Then I made another video that nobody saw, and there was I fell into a slump. Oh my god, it was really bad. Let me see. Let me try to check the exact date of the Tati Westbrook video. To give you, was 30 August 2020. I did not make a respectable, successful video until many months later, in December 29, 2020. But it's, well, not that many months later, but like 3 months later. It was the Hilaria Baldwin video. It was less than 3 minutes and was really successful, really quick. Something was really hot. and everybody liked that. It was a lot of humor. It was really, it was made in hours, in mere hours. I didn't have the editing chops at that moment, but it was really good. But the problem was that I was doing like, I don't know, like 2 videos a month. How could you expect to grow like that? That's impossible. In YouTube, if you want to be a YouTuber, you have to make at the very least 1 video a week. There's no way around that. And the video has to be something fresh content. I don't know. Many of you, maybe you don't want to be YouTubers, but I want to give you the analogy that the more that you do something, the more that you force you to do something, you will learn faster and you fail faster. And if you fail, the next day you will have immediately the opportunity to do something better, to do something to improve yourself. Let me see, I'll read your comments. I'm going to try to drop my voice an octave lower and see if people can take me more seriously. Let's put this one from yesterday. People are gonna take you more seriously, but you're gonna sound weird, and that, I think that's not worth it. Never worth it. Yes, I love when Veronica like paraphrases my words. Veronica, great friend, great channel. Please visit her channel, follow her, watch her lives. A great YouTuber. She's gonna be, she's gonna just grow beyond anything you can imagine. Just support her because she's got what it takes to be, well, to explode. She will. It's easy to get really discouraged when your products do not turn out as you expected. Yes, that's why speed is the name of the game. The faster you act, the faster you will realize that things do not work and just pull them. Okay? Some of you might be wondering, what happened with all this that I was going to write this racy stories. I told you about my racy stories, and I wrote one and I just stopped. I realized that it was not working the way I expected. It's not because I didn't have good feedback. I had great feedback and very good feedback about it, but it's like I was forcing myself to do something that was, in other words, pure creative endeavor. And I think it's important to leave space in our lives to activities that do not have an expected outcome, right? You do that just for the art. You know, I'm an artist. You already know me as an artist. I'm going to be releasing some illustrations soon. But we need that. We need part of that one activity that doesn't have, hey, this is what you need to get from that. Well, you're gonna write stories like that. Where you're gonna publish a book in this number of months, and you have to write that much every day. You have no. It's something that becomes mechanical. You need, if, for example, if you work as an artist and that's part of your job, or that's your main job, well, you need a structure, and you need to structure your creative ways, your creative juices around your day, and how to stimulate those juices so you can write them, or you can sit down and write in a way that is efficient. But if it's not your main job, that was my case, and it doesn't make sense of tackling something that should be to release creativity, to let your mind play and transform it into a second job, because you're just killing it. You will not do your first job well and your second job either. Okay, that is important. Yeah, sadly, there's some kind of zen to it. It has to feel natural. You can do anything that you set yourself to. But you should never set yourself to do more than one thing at a time. Okay? And to do, gonna be, for example, I can treat my daily YouTube videos as my job, for example. Okay? But if I'm doing illustrations, I should not treat them like there's the second job, or there's this anxiety of performance in Twitter. Is like, in Twitter is very toxic. Like, you have to be 100% output all the time. That doesn't work. That never ends well. And like Elon Musk is a person that is admirable. Everything that he does, all the companies that he runs, but he's in this percentage of people that is too tiny. It was impossible. My mind, for example, couldn't be running one of those companies, much less four of those companies. So that's when you have to like drive the line, and for men is much more difficult sometimes, because we have so much performance anxiety, and you know that you have heard that performance anxiety term for things that have nothing to do with work. Okay, I know what you're thinking, some of you. And yes, it's the same. You have to always be performing all the time. Yes, I love writing, for example. Jean Blythe. I love writing, but I can't do it with force unless I'm passionate about the topic or story. I love researching. Yes. It's complicated. It's extremely complicated. My best writing flow comes after a bottle of wine, but the next day I read it and none of it makes sense. Yeah, has happened to me too. Well, there's so many things. There's so many topics that are important to touch, that are really relevant. For example, this: what if I always get bored or anxious before I finish anything? So many things 80% done. Finish lines are scary. Yes, but there's no way around that. You have to eat that frog, like the book Eat That Frog. You just have to go for it. It's something that you have. Well, if you go for 80%, then next time you go for 85%, and then next time 90%, and then you finish what you're thinking, what you're doing. But that's something that I noticed. For example, when I got my Silver Award, YouTube Silver Award, that had 80,000 subscribers, 85,000 subscribers, 95,000 subscribers, and I finally got to 100,000 subscribers. You have to be careful with that kind of milestones. For example, when you get a grade at college, or when you get that promotion that you have been expecting for years, or something that you've been waiting for a long time, have been working a lot for some time, or giving a lot of energy to it. You have to be very careful when you finally achieve what you were looking for, because the closer you were to that achievement, the more drive you had, the more energy, the more euphoric you were, because you're about to get it. Okay, that is normal. That's normal human behavior, And the moment you get that something, it's like that goal has been achieved, that process has finished, that moment is like, it's like, okay, now what? And you have to be very, very careful with your emotions, because it's absolutely normal that you will feel a heavy slump in your emotions, in your expectations. Might feel a little depressed. 1 week, sometimes maybe hours after you realize that you have achieved what you were looking for. And that is normal. That is perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. Every single one of us feel like that when we finally achieve something that we were really striving for. Especially if it wasn't just waiting, but really working our asses off for it. When we finally achieve it, we're gonna enter a slump. Why? Because we will realize that we need to find another thing, like another goal, another something, and start from the beginning, or start from the current state that we are in. And that can feel a little like a slump, especially because before reaching that achievement, before reaching that milestone, we feel euphoric, like energetic. We're about to reach it. We're about to reach it. We're about to reach it. And that's something that really makes you feel alive. When you lose that, when you achieve what you were looking for, you will have that slump in your energy and your motivation, and feel a little frustrated. That's absolutely normal, expected. That's normal human behavior. There's nothing wrong with you when it happens to you. Please remember this. It's absolutely normal. And in fact, there's a story about this YouTuber. I don't remember his name. It was Fuzzy. I think it was FuzzyTube. Fuzzy or FuzzyTube. This YouTuber, then, when he reached 10 million subscribers, and something that he was going for so many times, for so many years, was for so long working to get to those 10 million subscribers. And two things happened. That he had a prank channel, a channel that was, every video was pranks, something that was very popular in YouTube a few years back. Two things happened when he reached 10 million subscribers. He reached that milestone, and you can imagine working so hard for so long to reach that. Where to go? Where could he go from there? Like 20 million subscribers? It will never be the same as 10 million subscribers. What is he going to expect? 100 million subscribers will take too long. Maybe he will reach eventually, but his growth has stalled. It was really hard to reach 10 million subscribers. There was nothing to go from there. And what's more, the second circumstance is that prank videos, people were not watching prank videos anymore. It took him so long and was so hard to reach that 10 million subscriber milestone, because people were not watching prank videos anymore. And that really was really damaging for his mental health. He was not ready for that. And there's this channel called Sunny V2 in YouTube that explains this. All it talks about YouTubers and their careers, and very interesting, because you have solid insights about human behavior, or maybe I identified those insights because of my experience, of what I've read and what I in my therapy, and realized, yes, that man reached 10 million subscribers, and it was like everything, every energy, every ounce of motivation just went down. I reached that, now what? And I don't know where to go. Like, people not watching prank videos anymore. And I think that it's sometimes hard to grasp. I talk about uncertainty at the start of this. Yeah, we all, every single one of us, want to feel that damage, especially because in the process he was making, I don't know, 250k a month. Okay, 250k a month. That was serious duff. But I think the most important thing is to have always something to strive for, a next milestone, and it has to do too with how do we look at things and the impermanence of things. Good things, bad things, both of them are not permanent, and what should be always, we should be always striving for, is to try to really enjoy whatever is happening at the moment. We sometimes fail. We are not grateful enough sometimes. We don't realize, and this is very important, it has happened to me and has happened to me recently, that I forget how the Jesus of 2 years ago, what Jesus 2 years ago would have done, okay, to be in the place I am now. I sometimes forget that, and I should not forget that. We should never forget what brought us there. That's why I tell you so many times that we have to be kind to ourselves. We need to be kind. We should be really, how do I say that, soft on our mistakes. This is really, really important. Soft on our mistakes, because we are gonna make them. That's something like that. My God, thank you very much for that super sticker. 17. Oh my God, really thankful. Lemon character and baby lemon trailing around in the air. Thanks a lot, Esme. Thanks a lot for that. This is really great. Really flattered for that. Yeah, this question is very important. You know of which Jesus I'm talking about. Now is the only thing that actually exists. This is really important. We don't realize so many things. We are breathing. I tell you, we're breathing. Let me see which other videos I have here to show. Yeah, we can watch our own live here. I can watch my own live in here. It will be like a live inception. Liveception. Let me see if there's any other of my videos in here. Oh, there's a mix. That's me. Let me see. Oh, I love this. I remember this live analysis. I really love this live analysis of the Megan the Wedding Crasher. I'm really tired of. I spent the last 12 hours just blocking people, and on everywhere. There's people really talking a lot, attacking me. I don't know. Please, I don't know why you still invested. Hey, Jetpack Harry invested in trying to take me down. That is not the way. I don't know. I know that you watch my videos. I know the true nature of my videos, and I truly hope that you find the humor and levity in your life. I understand that it could be hard these days, and depending on where you live in your country, could be hard these days to find levity and humor in your life. But you need that, and you need God, and you need Jesus in your life. All of you that wish me bad, it's something that you really need. Yes, I am on the wrong side of M's armpit. Yes, she was. I don't know. She was modeling some kind of roll-on of deodorant there. Oh, that's great to know, because I discovered some things that I should do every day. It's not fun at all, that reading those hidden comments of people, because sometimes really they get really tired. But it's something that I noticed that it's not fair for you that you come to my live here. You want to interact here with me, and there's people in the comments just trying to wreak havoc on. People asking why others seen Biden, and people wreaking havoc. And I think you want your chat more cleaned, more clean. And I think that it helps a lot that the chat is in slow mode. Reading your comments, and now people asking why am I seeing Biden? And yes, there's something that I have when people have approached me to ask me how can they have a successful YouTube channel. I think one of the first things, having a successful YouTube channel has to do a lot with how to be successful at life. And most of it is not paying attention much to what's going around you. You have to be aware of your circumstances, of the context. That's true. Of what's going around you. That's really, really important. That is, I don't know what these chats are so big. Thanks for the super chat, Miss Millie. You have to be aware of what's going on around you, but you should not be that concerned with the bad things people say about you. Because the first thing I remember, by the way, about these lives, one comment that say, Jesus must do this better. All this stuttering or these pauses are not professional. He should stop doing these lives. And I didn't answer. I didn't answer that comment. But my question that I made in my mind is, I wonder how many lives has this person done in a language that is not their mother tongue, and how it went. Okay, it's my question, and most probably the answer is gonna be, well, they not even YouTubers, so that's it. People are gonna criticize all the time what you do in every way, but they are not willing to walk in your shoes. Not even willing to put on your shoes, and that is silly. And many people that are going to tell you how to do your thing. Okay? It's like people have told me, you should strip Jesus from your name. Just call yourself Enrique Rosas. People have told me to strip my own name from my channel and how I call myself. Can you get that? Like, do not kill. You are not worthy of the name Jesus. You have to strip that. You have to rip that. Do not mention that name again. What is wrong with people? These people seriously need God. They need God in their life. I don't understand. It's impressive how much can I how much flack can you get in every way when you show yourself like this? They tell you it's like those passive aggressive comments. Oh, Jesus, I love your channel, but can you change the topic, please? I don't get it. I love your channel. Can you change the topic? I understand. Can you do other topics? Okay, that's okay. Can you take a look at this clip and tell us what you think? Hey, that's something that I do on Twitter sometimes. I take a look at that some clip and I made a comment on the spot. But I love your channel. Can you change it? Can you change the content? That is a bit like rough. You are doing this wrong. You are doing so many things wrong, and it's really good when you have certain experience and something. The best is most important. Remain humble. It doesn't matter if you have 1 subscriber in YouTube or have 1 million subscribers. You have to put in the work. That's something that hasn't changed. This is really, really this is really good. I love your face, but can't you put a mask on? Because, you know, it's hideous. Yeah, tell them to start your own channel. Yes, sometimes I used to say that, especially on Twitter. I don't want to be mean on YouTube, and I just hide them. I don't want to be mean on YouTube. But in Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm much more acid there. I'm much more harsh. I say bad words. I curse. I tell people to go. Maybe I should have a mustache. Maybe I should wear a stash. But the problem is that people are going to tell you, people that have absolutely nothing to do with what you're doing, are going to tell you how you should be doing things. It's true that some people can be very good mentors. If you want to start a YouTube channel, reach out to me. Twitter is a good idea to reach out to me. Email, not so much, but if you reach out to me, Jesus, I want to start as a YouTuber, what can I do? I have a thread, an ongoing thread on Twitter that you can read even if you don't have a Twitter about YouTube. You just have to reach out to me, and I point you in that thread. I can help you and have a sense of what can work for you. And I'm never gonna tell you you should change what you're doing if you're not asking my opinion. Of course, I seen many channels that start with the best of intentions and then they just give up. I understand that YouTube can be hard, can be really hard, but it will always be a marathon. And the most important thing, if you ever think about doing YouTube, or maybe even every platform, is that you should try to combine what you know with current topics. Like I combine human behavior with the royal family in this regard. Yeah, this is the problem. And then there are the very few who comment saying you say the opposite of what you actually said in the video, and ask why you are against Catherine in your most recent video. And I don't understand, how can you misinterpret my latest video? And it happens, and it was frustrating at first, but I just skip those comments. I really don't understand. Yes, I have literally thousands more positive messages. It's like to just to have an idea, I received close to 50,000 comments on YouTube per month. 50,000 comments. And if I find every day, like, I don't know, 50 comments that I should block or ban from, then I have like 1,500 bad comments, and the rest are good comments, then it's absolutely worth it. From have 1,500 bad comments from 50,000 good comments on the month. It's absolutely worth it. This is. But we as humans, we are always gonna have this. Gonna put the bad comments, like explode them, like give them too much weight to the bad comments. We have to be careful with that. At some point, I was thinking of making a video with mean tweets. It's like this Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel or anything. I think it's too woke for my taste. But that skit of celebrities read mean tweets is very clever. And at some point, I thought about reading mean tweets, but without mentioning the authors, because it will be like giving them extra this outreach. Okay, maybe someday I will read the most mean comments that I've received, but without blurring the author's name. Maybe. Yeah, I might do that. A combination of mean tweets with mean YouTube comments, and that will be. I think that will be fun. But I'm thinking about this, about not revealing the authors' names, because well, first for privacy's sake, and second for I don't want people to be. Well, in Twitter it's quite easy. You just have to put in the search certain the words, in the 2 or 3 words of the tweet that you're reading. If you have blurred the person that posted that tweet, just put in the search 2 or 3 words of the tweet itself, and you will find it really quick. But well, whatever. That's something that you cannot do on YouTube. Okay, I read this. I read this comment. Thank you. In Vin Diesel's voice, like I'm in some sort of Fast and the Furious spin-off. The family. You look family. Thank you. Steinway 2021. I read that in Vin Diesel's voice. I remember that I did some kind of parody of this on Twitter. Some people are negative for the sake of it. I posted a positive video about a cat and someone went after me. It's ridiculous. Just laugh at them. Let me see which other video they have here. Disturbing reason. There's more Megan. Megan always looking at the camera. I made that experiment on Twitter. I post the photo of a kitten, and said, someone is gonna make a political statement thanks to this. Oh my god. It's always a joke. Megan looking at the camera. Never gets old. Never gets old. And I had like 200 comments about making political statements just regarding the little kitten. That's how Twitter. If you don't like some YouTube comments, please don't go to Twitter. It's even worse. It's much worse. Twitter is a choice, not law. No one really needs it. Yeah, that's true. So I'm really really grateful. I'm really grateful of having you here, being able to answer your comments, being able to turn on the camera. I'm sorry for the first part of this live. I have a really hard time um, trying to set up a special software to be able to live stream to Rumble too. In the end, I should tattoo that on my arm. All the software that never works. I tried that last year, never worked either. So I think I'm gonna stay with the current software and try to really focus on it. That's something that I do. I told you about that. How I always look for hard version of thing, the hardest path, and I always try to overcomplicate things. I always striving to simplify things in my life. I tend to overcomplicate everything, and I don't know if you have this problem of overcomplicating, but it can be very very crippling when you think you need more things or more processes or more systems. And I'm really using Ecamm software. Okay, Ecamm software to stream. I've seen many live streamers that use Restream.io, but for me it hasn't worked. I don't know. It's something I want it as simple as possible, and just in case, do not use this called Streamlabs. There's an OBS. I think it's called OBS. That is the open source software. It's called OBS Streamlabs. But there's this other software that is called Streamlabs that use people on Twitch. This Twitch streamers use a lot of Streamlabs. Do not use them. For me, it was a total scam. Is that kind of services that when you try to cancel your subscription, they put like 20 hoops, 20 walls that you have to break so you can finally cancel your subscription. Yes, I want to cancel the subscription. Just cancel that. And they put like everything. And one of the things that I really hate about services is when you say you want to cancel your subscription and they tell you, hey, Jesus, don't go away. You know what we're going to do? We're going to give you the next 3 months for free. And I said, what? As in Oprah, what? You are going to give me 3 months for free? And I was paying for your shitty product and I want out. And now you're telling me you're going to give me 3 months free? That infuriates me even more. That makes me even angrier. I don't know how they think that is a good idea. That maybe that works. Maybe if you are planning to stay with the software and you know that they do that, it's a good idea to say that you're leaving so you get 3 months for free. But if you are really actually leaving, and you get that gets you angry. And so many things that really didn't like that. So I think Streamlabs is a scam. It's like that. And in fact, it was like 2 or 3 months after that, many Twitch streamers were accusing Streamlabs of bad practices in many fields. So I think I was right in that regard. So I'm currently using Ecamm software. It's really good. It's a bit complex at first, but once you get the hang of it, I haven't never tried StreamYard. Go with that and let's see how it goes and let me know. But I think I'm going to stay with Ecamm. It's worked really well so far. Sometimes I would like a better design to the interface, but I think I cannot complain. Yeah, it's like when you are going to, when you try to leave Amazon Prime, it's like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 hoops, pages. Are you absolutely sure we're gonna give this free gift, or this gift, do not leave, do not cancel. Are you sure? Are you sure? Really sure you want to cancel? That is so that is really it's a really bad experience. It's like very bad aftertaste of a service when they do that. I don't know what kind of brilliant marketing specialist came up with that. Yeah, the Oprah what? I want to try to. I would like to have what I want to improve. Instead of having more software, I have to learn my lesson. I hope I learned my lesson by now. I would like to have a meme keyboard. Like I press a button, and all of a sudden it appears Oprah saying, "What?" I think that was the meme of 2021. For me, it was the best meme the meme to rule them all. 2021, Oprah saying what? It's a total classic. Well, I think we can. I'm really glad to know it, Patricia. I'm really glad to know that I've changed your life with my advice. But most important was not my advice, but you acted upon my advice. Was really more important than anything that I could have said. Your actions were far more important than my words, because we're the ones that materialize in your life what you wanted, and I just nudged you in the right direction. That's all that I did. That's all that I did. And it did anything beyond that. Well, I think it's a wrap for today. You know that there are these streams that last 12 hours. I don't know if someday I will be willing to do a 12 hour stream. Maybe when I get to 1 million subscribers or something. You can you imagine 12 hours of streaming? It will be heavy metal. Maybe I did one of 4 hours some time. Yes, that's true. In fact, it's that I try to. I'm leaning to my table, and as I don't want my hand to be like covering my face, I'm trying to find a more comfortable position. And at the same time, very good observation. I've been covering my neck because I've been talking about very sensitive topics about my life in a very generic way, so you don't really know the details, but. Yes, I've been talking about moments when I felt really vulnerable and I was down in the gutter, and that's something that really I don't wish anyone to be there. That could also be the reason why I was covering my neck. I was a little defensive, talking about my experiences, but very good observation. I noticed that in myself. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like the need to get it out of there, because I was really feeling really comfortable. Not that many. Well, 400 people is a lot of people. In fact, is a lot of people. But I think we got an intimate moment today, intimate live, a very close conversation, with your comments, with your super chats, that I'm really, really grateful. And maybe that's why I felt a bit on the defensive, like I'm revealing things about myself, and maybe I was not that comfortable because nobody is sometimes comfortable opening up about experiences that were hurtful or difficult for one. Okay, GAA is reminding you that you have only 24 hours to get my limited edition merch with my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas introduction. And the link in the description. Visit the link in the description because there are going to be only 24 hours more left. Just 24 hours. And if you want to send a donation through PayPal, you'll be very much welcome and really grateful for that. Really grateful for all your donations and your super stickers and your super chats. It has been a great night. It has been a bit odd. Trying to make my point across on all these fields that happen to us, all the things that happen to us, and somehow we sometimes we don't know how to deal with them. Okay, we don't have the tools ready, or we don't have the tools to deal with them. I'm just trying to share what worked for me, and in many ways, my journey, of course, hasn't stopped yet. I don't plan to stop it anytime soon. But I try to give you a hand, especially because I know how there can be so much despair in the times that we're living, the times that we're going through. But you've got this. I know that you've got this. I'm looking at you directly. I know that you've got this, and you have what it takes to figure out what you need to do now. Okay? That I'm absolutely sure about that. Maybe I don't have direct connection with you, but I know for a fact that you can figure out. But you need to use these tools I'm giving you. You have to act upon them, as I was telling a couple seconds ago, a couple minutes ago. I'm sometimes speechless because I try to give feedback, in a way, and I feel flattered for so much love that I read in the comments, and it's really emotional for me. It's really emotional to be sharing this moment with you. It's really emotional to be here, to be able to be sharing the thoughts. And I have to say that I have received emails that are really touching. Okay, especially I sent an email yesterday about my anniversary as a YouTuber, and I received messages, very good messages, very good wishes, and people that are basically telling me that I helped them a lot, and it's really moving in the ways that we can connect, in the way that we can find ourselves. And I think that I have this I think that I have this responsibility now. Some of you are afraid of me being canceled of any way, and I publish in my YouTube community tab all my social media, all my all my how to say that, my social media channels, so you can review them if you want to follow them there, if you want to add me there. Getting my book in the link in the description, my 100 body language book, adds you to my email list, and it's easier to keep in touch that way. Most probably I will not be having to use those channels to, in case of emergency, like in case of emergency, break the glass. This is my favorite kind of conversation today. Congratulations, my dear friend. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks a lot. It has been a great journey, and we're essentially doing this journey together, fellow YouTuber. And this has been great. And yes, this is more like it. You are a voice for positivity. Yes, we need positivity. We need to laugh. We need to realize that life is meant to be enjoyed, but enjoying life sometimes requires some kind of effort on our side. It requires some kind of effort. It's important to think about it. It's not for granted. I think this speaking, just speaking with some videos, some of my videos just running on the background are really nice. What do you think? But I think it was nice to have my videos running on the background. Why not? If you want to go to the community tab, you go to YouTube, you go to my channel, you're gonna see videos, you're gonna see videos, community, about like this tabs, and in the community, the first update in my community tab on my YouTube channel is all my social media channels. So gonna be in there. But the best way is just add yourself to my email list. I try to not to nag you too much. I sometimes give you some offers of my books or my merch, but not too nagging. You have absolutely no obligation to buy anything. But if you don't want to lose track in case anything happens, well, just add yourself. Just download my book, my 100 body language tips, and you'll get added to my email list. What? So you enjoy the videos running in the background? Yeah, that'll be nice. That especially because I sometimes want to recall some jokes and memes that I'm including in them, and I really forgotten about them. It will be great to remember some of them. Please also books in German. I hope to do them soon. To hire someone to translate them to German. My body language buddies. Today was a nice 2-year anniversary live, answering your questions, a bit informal today. As Veronica was mentioning, this is the kind of conversations I like to have with you. I sometimes feel, as I tell you, a lot of pressure of delivering hot topics and everything, but sometimes it's needed to be able just to talk with you and realize that we are every single one of us are learning in this path, and my responsibility is trying to to show you what has worked for me. Maybe not everything that I tell you works for you, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe not everything that I share, maybe not every idea that I share in my social media, maybe not everything that I say on Twitter you agree with. That's perfectly okay. That doesn't matter. Maybe we have different political opinions or spiritual opinions. That doesn't matter. What matters is what you can actually get, and if you enjoy getting what you can actually get from me. That's it. That's like in every YouTuber. There's certainly, I feel flattered that you feel my channel is special. I feel flattered that I have managed to control that. I give that to you. Okay, that give you that you consider special, and that is great because that's something that I can do, and I can do every day. There's always the pressure of how better can I become, how good can I become with this, and how far can we get this going. Until maybe at some point, sorry about that. At some point, maybe you get tired about me. That would be absolutely okay. It doesn't matter. But I know that I will be doing this for a long time, and I'm really grateful that I will be counting on you, because it's not like I will be expecting something from you, but what I will be expecting from you is if you try something that I tell you and it works for you, the only thing that I ask of you is to pass the word to another person, is to, whatever worked for you, share it with someone that you think that could be helpful for them. That's it. Something that helped me maybe will help you, and that will maybe help someone else. We don't know how much good what we can offer the world with this. We're just doing. But yes, that's it for today. My body language buddies, always a pleasure to share these moments with you, these lives, absolutely non-scripted, with uncharted. And as usual, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And until we meet again on another live or another video, we'll be ready to share more insights on human behavior and wherever the wind takes us, and especially to a peaceful shore. We'll be meeting again and having more and more fun, and of course, love and bliss. Take good care. Have a great night. Have a good evening. Have a great day if you're in Australia now. And much blessings for you all. Remember, you got this. You got this. You can do this. And everything always passes. Nothing is permanent. Everything passes. Take care. Take care of yourself. Have a good night. Love you all.